Hello everyone, my name is Ronit Desai and today I'll be presenting my research titled Sans Tracas, a cross-platform tool for online EEG experiments. This is the list of content that will be covered in this presentation. Traditional laboratory EEG experiments have some barriers such as high cost, the time associated with the study, scalability, the limited sample size of participants, small levels of diversity in participants, having the participants visit the research lab, which leads to no generalization of findings. This increases marginalization with respect to who can benefit from the innovation. It can also lead to inadequate sample size, resulting in a low statistical power. Thus, democratizing neuroscience research on a large scale will help advance the field, broaden study sample sizes, and discover new neural interfacing principles, while at the same time making neurotechnology accessible to everyone. In efforts to democratize neuroscience experiments, we present Sans Tracas, which is a cloud platform tool which runs EEG experiments online instead of the traditional laboratory studies. So one participant can perform these experiments from the comfort of their own home, thereby increasing the diversity of participants, reducing marginalization, and reducing the associated cost of conducting research in the area. The platform also serves as a web-based EEG data collection tool. The platform is a collaborative effort between cognitive neuroscientists and HCI researchers and has two target audiences. The researchers who could be from a cognitive neuroscience background, psychology, or EEG background, and people who would be study participants, also known as end users. We also evaluate the usability of the platform. This is the list of related work associated with our research. Our objective was to create a platform that simplifies the process of conducting large-scale EEG studies, both from the researcher's perspective and the end-user perspective. Thus, we employed an iterative user-centered design approach for the platform development. This involved regular meetings, brainstorming sessions, prototype design reviews, and feedback between the neuroscientists and the HCI researchers involved. As mentioned earlier, our platform is designed for both the EEG researchers and the end users. Thus, before starting the development process, we identified a few design requirements from both ends of the spectrum, and their solutions were developed keeping the perspectives in mind. Some of those design requirements will be mentioned here. Our first design requirement is of accessibility, as such a platform should be accessible to everyone and should not be limited to a type of device. The platform should also be interactive and easy to use to maintain participant engagement. EEG data obtained by the platform should be useful and of good quality. The platform should be private and secure enough. There should be a pre-established collection of behavioral and EEG experiments for the participants to start with something. And there should be flexibility and ease of use for the researchers who don't necessarily have a computer or a technical background. For solving the accessibility problem, we created a web application which runs on any system or any computer which has access to an internet and has a web browser. And we used a consumer grade EEG device known as the Muse, which is available at a low cost, thus reducing the cost of research. To increase the visual appeal of the program platform and engageability, we use certain frameworks such as React and Bootstrap, and we also created video tutorials for the platform so that the participants know how to use the platform. We also let the participants see their live signal in real time. To ensure the data quality, we implemented video tutorials on a proper fitting of the Muse device, and we created a signal quality check process that shows the participants how good, bad, poor, or okay the signal is, and based on that they can decide whether to calm themselves down, refit the Muse device, repeat the signal quality check process again, or start the experiment. We don't take any personal data from the users, and all the EEG data and behavioral data sent to our secured servers is encrypted transfer. We have three natively designed EEG experiments and three behavioral experiments imported from Pavlovia. The behavioral experiments run on the front, and EEG data is collected on the background. We have for the solution of ease of use of researchers, we have developed a detailed step-by-step documentation section so that the researchers can follow this to integrate their own platforms into the experiment. The end user workflow, end user would select from the list of experiments, connect the Muse device, and put it on their head. After going through the signal quality check process, they will run the experiment and later they will be able to view the EEG data or run another experiment. For researchers, they will go through the documentation section, they will follow each and every detailed step, and at the end of those steps, they would be able to add their own experiments to the platform. This diagram here represents the workflow of Sans Tracas. We conducted a pilot study with 7 participants to evaluate our platform, and all participants had at least a bachelor's degree and were beginners to novice in terms of their EEG and BCI knowledge. They were invited to a laboratory and handed the Muse devices, and after briefly explaining the platform to them, they were left alone to do the experiments independently to simulate at-home conditions as closely as possible. After going through at least one experiment, the participants would go through the survey wherein there will be asked questions for quantitative and qualitative feedback. They were asked questions from scales such as system usability scale, ARCS motivation appeal model, perceived usefulness, and perceived ease of use scales. While all participants performed the study on their personal computers, one participant performed the study on their smartphone too for testing functionalities on the platform across different types of devices. All participants were able to complete at least one EEG experiment from start to finish on their own without any external help. All participants could complete the experiment without needing additional software or hardware. 4 participants mentioned that the platform was intuitive and exciting, whereas 3 participants described the platform as straightforward and easy to use. The platform was accessed on 6 different Windows devices, one Mac device, and one Android device. The participants accessing the platform via more than one device did not feel observe a significant difference in its functionalities across different types of devices. This table shows one sample t-test results for all the scales used in the survey, with the p-values indicating that all 4 scales have ratings that differ significantly from a neutral score. The average search score of the platform was 81.07, which is above the average of 68 and is in the top 10% of system usability scale studies. The top figure shows average scores for perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use scales. Both of these were rated on the 7-point Likert scale, and we can see both of them are above the average of 4. The EICS motivation appeal model was rated on a 5-point Likert scale. All individual constructs of the EICS motivation appeal model have an average above the median of 3. Based on the majority of the user feedback so far, this entirely online platform is straightforward and hassle-free. Using a platform to conduct online EEG studies has the potential to collect a very large sample size, which could also increase the diversity of participants, reduce marginalization, and reduce the associated cost of conducting research in one specific location. The end user part of the platform aimed to make it as simplistic, intuitive, and engaging as possible so that end users can perform EEG experiments entirely on their own by following the guidelines on the screen. We accomplish it by making the platform cater to EEG beginners' need while also keeping them intrigued and engaged with the platform. As part of our future work, we are conducting longitudinal large-scale in-the-wild studies, and we will further evaluate the validity of EEG data collected with the platform. The platform was designed keeping the usability, usefulness, and ease of use for 2 target users at the center of its design approach. The platform achieved excellent scores on the system usability scale, perceived usefulness, and perceived ease of use scales. The individual constructs of the ASCS motivational appeal model indicate that the platform was able to increase their confidence and satisfaction with EEG studies, thereby displaying good early signs of the platform being widely accepted for running online EEG studies. You can check out the demo of the platform on this YouTube video here. And if you want to check out the platform for your own, you can participate in a study at this link. These are a list of references used in our presentation. Thank you.